My name's Fox. I got the top 32 at Oceanics playing Power Patron. Shout out Old Dogs for T-Roy 5? T-Roy's 5?
Yeah.
T-Roy's 5. Use the code. Okay, so the Power Patron cards themselves, 3, 3, 3, and 2. They're the pendulums. That's all pretty standard now. Then the rest of the Dark Fairies, which you can search off Terminus, 2 Medius, 3 Shade. You can access Medius really easily with a lot of things. This is what you access with this combo lines. It's also an extender. It lets you play through Droll, lets you play through Fua. Any hand traps you can end on lock, giving 1 or 2 draws under Fua. If you draw this, same with this. This is this again. These come out to something like this going second, or even this. They just drop down a lot when you need them to. 3 Terminus, this card's very good. And then 1 of this spell. This one searches Medius. This is your 3rd Medius. It just makes it accessible in an extra way. This trap lets you beat hand traps whenever you draw the Archmage guy. This is the lock. There are 3 main versions of Power Patron at the moment, which is the Amorphage lock, the Astrograph Sorcerer, Odd Eyes Pendulum, get a bunch of negates on board, and the Archmage stuff, and the Train FTK. I think this one's the best. The Train FTK is better against Branded, but this deck is already very good against Branded, doesn't need the assistance. Even if you get Lava Golemed or Even Lead or anything, you still win the game most of the time. Like, they have to truly God hand you to win. I got Lava Golemed, I got Sphere Moded, I got Santa Claus, and I won those games. I got Even Lead, and I won that game. The Archmage stuff is just budget. This stuff, you still have to play cards that aren't phenomenal to draw. At least these are pendulums. And the Astrograph stuff has slightly better main deck stuff, but the end board is not as strong, and a good Branded hand can break it. Then the non-engine. So for a full lock deck, there is, should know this, I think 14 non-engine. Let's see. No, less. No, more. 16?
Yeah,
we'll
16,
find out. And I played the Breakers plus 4. So this is draw whatever cards I want. Well, hopefully. This kept getting Ash. Every time I lost it was because I went second, drew 4, and it got Ashed. 3 Fallen. This card puts Synchros or Fusions in grave to help summon Vidolium, which is your win condition. Like, pretty much every time I go second, I summon this card and I win. And then 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Eclipse. These are like your not so much options to draw, but they're like things that you can dig for with Sloth and with Fuller going second. And then going first, these cards are fine because you discard them to summon this one, which is how you get the Archmage spell trap. So drawing these going first helps you play through hand traps. So, and then Call by Talents, more breaker-ish cards that have good applications going first as well. I don't regret playing the breaker build. Anytime I went first, I won. Yes. Anytime I went first, I won. Yeah. I'll do this extra deck next. One of each of the Power Patron summons. So this is the Archmage, this is the Elf Knight, this is the Doom Z. So green, red, blue, whatever. This you need for the lock. These are combo pieces and how you get to the lock. 2, 3, search Goliath. This one is like a kind of a starter, kind of an extender, kind of a protection for your combo, kind of an endboard piece. This card's crazy. Verudrus is an endboard piece, but honestly, mainly this was weirdly used as a breaker. You can summon this, attack into stuff, clear problematic things. This didn't get summoned that much. Baguska was normally on the end board. This is better, weirdly, even into evenly. So the end board that is normally there is the lock with these. So the Amorphage cards. I'll just dig them out. This being the lock. So if they evenly you SP banish itself in this, and then you let everything else get banished. They still have to beat Goliath, even though it's in defense. So if they evenly you, it's in main phase 2. They still have to have the out to Goliath, and then they have to set up a board that can beat the threat of this coming back. Vidolium is already online. You can pen summon 3 as your first action, or 4 even. Yeah, you can pen summon 4 as your first action.
Doing a lot of counting big numbers today.
Oh, so much counting. So yeah, that end board's good enough to beat evenly anyway, and that's a 1-card combo. And then the last final end board piece is Dragus Depelia, which is an option for your half boards when you make this, especially against Cool Tune, because you can use a dark and this to summon this. You negate their first body, and then their second body you can counter trap. But usually it's better just to hit the first body anyway. I don't think I summoned this at all actually. And then the Fallen Virtuous targets. Notably, Synchro and Fusion that you can put back to help summon Vidalia.
And the Synchro is the most important one, because you can't get to that in engine without the
without using it. So this one you can summon by attributing 3 different type or attribute type, I think. 3 different type monsters. I mean, Exceed you can just get easily, and you can get a Fusion through Non-Finito, but Synchro is impossible to summon. So, yeah, getting a Synchro engrave is really nice. Then the side deck. So, considering that I'm maining the Breakers, the deck is basically pre-sided or to play against Cool Tune and Branded. So the side deck is some hand traps that can help when I play against an FTK deck and are always good going first. So these cards always came in when I was going first, along with some mix of these. Yeah, you put these in. You don't need any help to go first. It's just evening the odds a little bit. And then if you play against an FTK deck or a lock deck, you can put these in to help your odds. The card that was coming in every time I go second, Perulia, you draw Charmies, you draw Sloth, you custom hand them, in the sense that you get to use Sloth and choose what your hand is. And then the final one for toxic decks like this one is 3 Spin Mode. Okay, so long list of shout-outs. Shout-outs to everyone from Canberra who's staying here and testing. Shout-out to George, who's currently surviving, we hope. Shout-out to people who lent me the cards. There were a lot of them. Brody, Dom.
Shout out Brody.
Shout out Brody. Shout out Brody again. Shout out Brody for the cards he lent me for this deck. Shout out Brody for the cards he lent me for the other deck that I'm not playing. Shout out Brody for the other deck I'm not playing, whose cards I'm also using.
Shout out TJ for giving me all the secret rares.
Shout out TJ. Shout out Tom. Shout out there's more people.
Shout out Brian.
Shout out Brian for letting me cards for Genesis.
For real.
Yeah. Lots of shouts. Thank you everyone who helps me every time there's a major event and getting me any cards I need. I really appreciate it.
All right, great. Thank you.